Good morning, good day, good night, good everything. Rhetorical Arts here, and wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for taking the time to walk with me during my word workout. I really just appreciate it. And yeah, for those who've been kind of supporting and keeping me accountable and just encouraging, thank you for that. Today, I want to kind of follow up on the video that I recorded yesterday, which was going into further detail about the 3 states that I create life and art out of. More specifically, yesterday was the here state. Well, today, I want to talk about the there state. And kind of how that works in me and how I see that process. To the there state, again, for a refresher, is about focusing on taking steps towards the future that you're creating and telling a story or having a vision about where you want to be or where you see something, or an idea of the future that you have, and then initiating and taking the steps to get there. And I think the best imagery is having your head in the sky and your feet on the ground. You know, your head's in the skies and you're kind of looking out from above towards where you want to go. Whereas while that's happening, your feet are kind of firmly stepping and walking towards that future. And that's the there state. And you know, sometimes we can use the there state to help us, and then sometimes the there state can, you know, it can be used to hinder us. All these things can be used negatively. You know, the here state as well. You know, if you're so stuck, sometimes you can even get stuck at where you are and never get to the here, and then sometimes like you get too stuck in the moment and you don't move yourself forward. So the there state is a powerful one if you have goals that you want to achieve, if you have dreams or visions of the future that you would like to see happen. And you know, last video I talked about the creative side, and then I kind of moved over to how this state applies to creating a life. I'm gonna start the life part this time. So a good example of the there state in my life is that, like, when I was in high school, my sister goes to college and we go to kind of bring her there, and there's this art gallery at her university, and I'm sitting there. At the very end of the gallery, there's this picture, and it's of the Amalfi Coast in Italy. These islands called, I want to say they're called Anna Capri Islands. And like, there was just something about the picture that was freaking beautiful. It's just like, I don't know, it just captured all of me. And I'm staring at it, I'm just like, I'm gonna be there one day. Like, I'm going to be on those islands one day. Yeah, I'm gonna travel there. And a year later, my sister, she gets this internship in Budapest, Hungary. And like, yeah, as soon as the slight notion of the travel came up, you didn't have to twist my arm. Because it was what I saw when I saw the picture. I saw it. I saw it happening. And I saw myself there. And then a year later, there I was. I want to say a couple years later, I'm in college. It's like my sophomore year in college. It's like 2010. And it's fall semester. I'm watching this anime. It's called Law of Yuki. And I don't fully remember the details of what it's about, but I really enjoyed it. It was kind of emphasizing the power of like working hard, and that talent can only take you so far. But it was doing that in a super powered way through like fantasy and action and fighting and, yeah, powers flying around and stuff. But anyway, Law of Yuki. I think Yuki is U-E-K-I. I think is how it's spelled. Anyway, I'm watching this anime. I just had this moment. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Japan someday. You know, anime, that's where it comes from. It comes from Japan, for those who don't know. But yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna go to Japan next semester. Right now, it's the spring semester. I'm walking around, and I happen to be walking through my business school at my university. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go see how this one dude is doing. He was really good to me while I was there. I just want to check in with him. His name was Bill Sprangler, I want to say. I haven't even thought about this dude in a minute, so yeah, it just took me a while to just figure out, yeah, the name. But Bill Sprangler, I want to say. And I walk in, and I think he was like the associate dean at the time. I was walking to his office, like, hey, how you doing, man? You know, I'm sitting down, I'm talking to him. And he happens to mention that there's this business trip happening. I was talking about some of the things I was trying to start up and some of the ventures, and he was like, yeah, there's actually this business trip, and I think you'd be perfect for it. We're going to China and Japan for a little over a month. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And it's funny because when it came to me, I kind of like resisted it almost. I was like, oh, well, I'm not in a business school. I'm in communication school now, blah, 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 blah. And he had to just flat out tell me at one point, like, dude, just apply for it, you'll get it. I get it. Like, you're good. If you apply, you can get the scholarship. So I did. And yeah, that summer, I'm in Japan. And, like one of the things I always imagined is having this moment where I could kind of like travel and, in animes, they like the characters, they go on these training journeys, they get stronger. And I imagined that. And I ended up, at one point in time, heading to the shrine of where Hichigata Toshiro was. And Hichigata Toshiro is like, I am a big fan of animes that focus on the Shinsengumi, which is like this awesome samurai squad. During the Edo period. Yeah, it was just like, it felt like this was a part of my training. And there's a whole story that happened while I was in Japan I'm not going to get into. That happened while I was there. But that's not the point. The whole point is that, like, that's the power of the there story. Like, you can have a moment where you see yourself in a future and actually take the steps towards it. And when you kind of operate out of a there state of creation for life and for art, it evolves and it accelerates your art. You're able to kind of create things that, like, you may not even had the skill to do at the moment you're creating it. But, part of art, I think, art has the power to kind of bring the future a little bit closer. And to bring certain realities, kind of to bring those things nearer to us so we can kind of see them and see those possibilities of the future. And perhaps step towards them if they're, hopefully if they're positive ones. So yeah, this is the there state and what you're able to do in it. And I think for artists, for creators, and for people who are just creating a life for themselves, the there state is where you can really set your goals and have your dreams and have your visions, and move towards them. So yeah, I encourage anyone who has a dream or has a goal to step towards the there state, to create out of that. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can about the there state. But yeah, that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be talking about, I'll be posting a video tomorrow about the elsewhere state, which is the last of the 3 states that I create art and life out of. Alrighty, see you guys tomorrow. Oh, there's just one more thing I gotta mention. Something that is kind of near and dear to my heart, is that a lot of people have dreams and they have kind of goals and they want to kind of get there. And what the there state is not is comparing yourself to someone else's story. And I've seen people use the there state to kind of look at other people's stories and say, oh, look at them over there, like, they have so much more than me. There's, I don't have their resources, so then I can't take the steps that I want to take. Or yeah, they just look at themselves, and again, the same thing with the here, where, like, with the here state, sometimes you can get stuck in where you are and never get to where you are. Sometimes you can go so stuck in where you are that you never get to where you want to be. And I've seen people use the there state to keep themselves stuck. And I've done that. Part of the reason why it took me so long to create these videos, I'm like, oh man, I don't have the equipment, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. And then I had that, and I realized that that's actually not what stopped me. My dad tells me this story all the time about his grandma. And, you know, he has all these beautiful things. Like, he talks to me about, like, just some of the liveliness in her. And she's a very lively and lovely lady, and was. But one of the things that, like, he would say is that she would always talk about, if I only had this desk, I want to write my memoirs, I want to write things, but I need this desk, and if I could only have this desk. And, you know, I think that's, you know, he made this point. He's like, sometimes we approach things like that. We have this desk excuse that says, like, I need to have this place and this space before I can begin anything. And, you know, that's kind of the there state gone wrong. Where you use the future, and you use kind of a vision of where you want to go to stop you from getting there, and you use it as an excuse and not as a energizer to take the steps. For my grandma, it was that desk. For me, sometimes it was equipment and needing the right thing, or needing the right moment, or needing to be at the exact right place. And even with myself right now, like, I am healthier. I am more organized, but I am nowhere near as organized, as healthy as I want to be, as what will allow me to do the work I'm doing better. I need to do a lot better organization. I've only just gotten like a tip of the iceberg of it. And, you know, I've seen that because, yeah, I've had, you know, yesterday I was supposed to post a video and I forgot. Or I didn't forget, I ran out of time. But that was just because I didn't set my time up properly. And so, you know, I'm saying all that to say, like, sometimes you don't have to be there to start going there, and to take yourself there. You hear that say, it's like, oh, he went there, like, or oh, she went there, like, yeah, that's the goal. You want to go there. You want to go there, and in a positive way. You know, you want to take yourself there. And not just talk about it, and just talk about why you're not there. So you want to use the there state to walk there and not talk about not being there, is what I want to just encourage. So yeah, I went a little over, but I really feel like I need to go over that, and for myself, because yeah, there's a lot of things I don't have. I'm not quite at the way I want to be at. I don't have my structure fully down. I have enough that I can maintain most things, but not nearly the level that I need to be more productive and to do some of the things I'm really looking to do. But I don't use that as something to ruin my progress. I use it as a means to keep walking towards it. And that's the true power of the there state. It allows you to have your head in the clouds and see what you want for your life. And it also allows you to take the steps that'll let you get there, and that'll let you arrive at that place that you want to be, and possibly even better. So that's the there state. Tomorrow I'll talk about elsewhere, and appreciate you guys taking the time. See you tomorrow. Peace.